don't eat their vegetables like they were told as a kid.
Hey, it's Ryan from the Carb Situation. Remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a trainer. I'm just a human guinea pig who likes to read a lot and willing to experiment. If you go on the journey with me, maybe you'll learn what I learned. Oh yeah, and I curse a lot. Let's do this.
Hey guys, it's time for another What the Fuck Wednesday. Today I want to talk about meat versus plants and fat versus protein. But before I get to that, I want to remind you to check out this book, Why We Get Fat and What to Do About It by Gary Taubes. Goes over all of the ideas I talk about way more eloquently than I ever could, with all the science to back it up. You're going to love it. Read it, audible it, however you do it. It's great. All right, so today we're talking about fat versus protein. So you've decided to go low carb. When you cut your carbs out of your diet, you're gonna need to replace them with either protein or fat, and usually both. So there's gonna be arguments about, well, should I have more protein, more fat? On a traditional therapeutic ketogenic diet, you're gonna have a lot more fat than protein. Usually something like 70% fat, 25% protein, 5% carbohydrates. If you're a healthy middle-aged person who is trying to build muscle, then you may want to increase that protein. Protein is basically the building block for life. I personally like to increase my protein. My diet varies from day to day a little bit. I went back and looked. That's the great thing about a low-carb diet, is as long as we keep the carbs at bay, I don't really care that much about the rest of what I eat. I don't count calories. I don't try to make sure my fat is at a certain percentage. I don't do any of that stuff. But I've looked, and usually my diet is somewhere around 60% fat, 35% protein, and 5% carbs. Sometimes it's 50% fat, 50% protein, 0 carbs. But that's how I like to do it. So there is no problem with a high protein diet. If you already have some kidney damage, then you probably want to talk to your doctor about that, because it can be a little hard on your kidneys if you have kidney damage. But if you have healthy kidneys, they've done tests where people are eating tons and tons, like triple the protein that anyone would ever recommend, and it didn't do any harm to them. One complaint sometimes is that high protein diets can be hard on your stomach. So if that's the case, then just back off a little bit and add more fat to your diet and you're good to go. But as long as you've got carbs out of the way, for the most part, whatever percentages, you're usually going to have more fat than protein. Whatever percentages work best for you, that's what you're going to want to do. It's not worth losing sleep over. All right, so next I want to talk about meat versus plants. All right, so we've decided to cut all the garbage out of our diet. Fantastic. We're already 90% of the way there. We're not eating sugar, we're not eating flour, we're not eating vegetable oils. So what's left in the world is real food, which consists basically of meat and animal products and vegetables. Here's the thing. If you hate meat and you want to be a vegetarian and you've cut out all that garbage I talked about, you're going to be just fine. Now, technically, you're not really going to be as low carb because vegetables have carbohydrates in them. But the cool thing about vegetables is they also have dietary fiber in them. The same to an extent with fruits. Fruits have a lot more natural sugar, so you got to contain those a little better. But vegetables and fruits have dietary fiber, which slows down the digestive process when they go into your stomach. And that means there is no blood sugar spike. So these carbohydrates that are in vegetables, they go into your stomach, but they take a while to digest, so the blood sugar never spikes, so insulin never has to come in and do all the crazy shit that it does. Now, if you take a fruit, for example, and you put it through a factory and turn it into fruit juice, now you've taken away all of the fiber and probably added some sugar. But beside that part, you put that fruit juice into your stomach and now it can be absorbed immediately. Now we have a blood sugar spike. Insulin has to come in and save the day, and we got all those problems. So we don't want to drink things like fruit juice, but fruits to a small degree, and certainly leafy green vegetables are good for you. Those carbs aren't going to hurt you. Now, the other side of the spectrum is carnivore. These are the people who only eat meat and they don't eat their vegetables like they were told as a kid. The cool thing about meat is it includes almost all of the vitamins and minerals that you need for healthy life. As long as you're out in the sun for half an hour a day and you get your vitamin D, meat actually provides pretty much everything you need. If you're in doubt, take a supplement. But most of us are going to be somewhere in between. We're going to eat meat and we're going to eat some salads. If you are someone who's been overweight for a very long time and you're going low carb so that you can lose a bunch of weight and get healthier, when you start to eat low carb, you may find that the weight is not coming off like you'd like. If that's the case, you may want to also avoid vegetables for a while until your body gets down to where it's healthy again. Because those vegetable carbs, if you have tons of insulin resistance, the carbs in the vegetables are also going to cause some problems. My point is, if you've been in this condition for a very long time, then you're super sensitive to carbohydrates, and even the vegetable carbohydrates are probably going to stifle your progress. So you can just avoid those until the weight starts coming off and you start feeling healthier, your body gets back to the way it's supposed to be. Now you can start introducing vegetables back into your diet if you like, and even other smart, healthy carbohydrates like fruits and things like this. So that's the thing about meats and plants. Neither one is right or wrong. If you can handle the carb load of a vegetarian diet, most people who are healthy can, then that's totally fine. You want to go straight carnivore? That's cool too. You're gonna get all your minerals and vitamins that you need. As long as you have ditched the garbage, I'm talking about sugar, number 1, flour, number 2, vegetable oils, number 3. We're not doing potatoes, we're not doing the pasta, we're not doing the starches. We've gotten rid of all that junk, and now we're left with meat and animal products and plants. Now you're free to play with the combinations as you like. Want to lose weight faster? Cut more vegetables out. Want more variety in your diet instead of eating steaks every day? Add some salads in. It's totally fine either way. So I hope all that made sense. And if you have any questions, let me know below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please, and check out my website. I got tons of resources. It's all free. There's nothing to sell you. You can do the 2-week carb challenge. You can see all of my foods that I eat and don't eat, my resources that I use for my health. I think you're gonna love it. And until next time, here's to a healthy diet, however you wanna eat it. Cheers.